Hey, what's up guys? Justin here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the TCL 65S41. This is a Black Friday special that I got. I apologize for the ring light that's on there. I need to get a diffuser really bad. We'll work through it, check out this bad boy, and see what's inside the box here and if it's any good. So again, this is a TCL TV. It's a 65-inch. It is a Series 4, 4K, has Roku installed. So again, TCL TV, 65-inch. It has 4K. It comes with Roku TV. It has high dynamic range. It's a Series 4 TV. Other things to note really quickly, it has a stunning picture apparently, and it's got Wi-Fi. So all good things that we will be checking out here very shortly. It's not like a QLED or one of those OLED TVs. This is going to be one of the more budget TVs. As a matter of fact, I picked this up on a Black Friday sale for less than $250 out the door, shipped to my house actually. Normally it's around the $350 to $450 range if you're shopping sales. If you're not shopping sales, it's probably somewhere near like the $400 to $500 range. So I'm stoked to get it. I am excited to see what's in the box, so let's open it up and see what's inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through a full unboxing setup, and then we'll see some of the features and see what we think of them. So it says it actually has a Dolby speakers. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm guessing that's kind of low-end Dolby speakers for $248. So these are the legs. I'm just gonna dump all this stuff out. Comes a power cable, batteries for the remote control, and the remote control. And these are the screws for the legs. So we need those. So those are the legs. Important, please read. Always use two people in moving the TV. Only grasp the bottom base and lower side of the TV. Don't grab the edges of the screen. Okay. Avoid applying pressure to the front and back of the screen. Once you get these guys out, the bottom part just kind of comes right out. And I can take out the bottom part of the box actually stays on the ground. You can just lift the whole side out. Oh man, I hope I'm not breaking the TV lift rules. Okay. So I'm just going to say right now, it's definitely heavier than like an OLED TV. So these guys go on pretty easily. They have little holes here that mark where the legs go on. Got the legs on, so we're just going to lift this very carefully. Oh my goodness, you guys. Look at this. It's so big, it doesn't even fit on the table. All right. I could not get the TV to fit on the table, so I had to use this piece of plywood on the other side. It's a little precarious, but if this plywood goes down, it hits the bottom of the TV, and it'll stay for at least the rest of this review. So we're just going to go ahead and keep going here. The tape wraps around all four sides, so overall, it's about 1.5 to 2 inches thickness of the screen, which is pretty good. The remote's pretty simple. You can see it doesn't have a whole lot of stuff here. It's basically just a power button, home button, selection, and the different apps on here. And then, you know, fast forward, play, stuff like that. So let's get this guy plugged in and see what it can do. Just gonna move my ring light a little bit so we don't have that ring light quite so much right there. Okay, battery time. I do like that it has volume keys and mute right on the side here, so that's kind of nice. So then you can just kind of select it. Clears up the main part of the remote a little bit. Okay, so let's say English, United States, set up for home use. And let's go wireless. So I'm just noticing the it's a little bit slow, so it doesn't go very fast. It kind of has a little bit of a lag. So one of the things I want to show you guys already that I can tell is that when you're starting to view at angles, you start to lose some of the visibility. And you guys might already be able to see that it's a little bit dark. I can tell if you have a very bright room that this is going to be a little more of a challenge in TV. Okay, so it wants to update here, so I'll go ahead and say update. If anyone's wondering, I'm on a 100 megabit connection. Looks like it's just restarting right now. All right, it's just asking for my email address so I can get my Roku account set up. So I'm going to put that in here really quick. It was just asking me to go ahead and create an account, make a PIN to be able to make purchases and things like that. You have to add a credit card as well, so I'm just adding a credit card to this. One of the really nice things about this is that it actually lets you add all your streaming services, which is really handy, so you can go ahead and just add them here, put in your password and everything, and then you can easily access them from the TV. Okay guys, so just got everything updated. It took me about 15 minutes to do everything. When you first start it up, it'll ask you to put your email address in, and then that way you can open a Roku account. It doesn't cost any money. After you put the email in, they'll send you a confirmation link. You can go to their website, and then from the website you kind of set everything up. You select all the apps you want, Netflix, Hulu, whatever else that you have, and then you put in credit card information for if you want to make purchases. You can make a PIN so that you can't make purchases without using the PIN. And once that happens, it goes through an update again where all of the settings you do on the website, it then pushes it up to the TV, it installs all the apps, and then this is the screen you get afterwards. So not too bad actually, even despite it being pretty bright in here. The darks I think are reasonably dark. There's no light leaks that I can see. There's no vertical lines. So unlike some people who got a TV that had vertical lines in it or had some screen defects, I didn't appear to have any of that. So it's got an auto off feature, which is nice. So after you initially install everything, it'll take you to this screen where you can connect your devices. I'm just going to say everything's plugged in and turned on. And we'll just say for right now, we'll just do HDMI later, so I'm not going to put anything in this. Okay, don't need to see this tutorial, so we'll just get rid of this. So I'm just going to go home. So you see it has lots of apps on here. I went ahead and installed Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, and YouTube because those are the things we use the most. And then it's got a whole bunch of other things down here too that you can see. I do like that it's actually fairly responsive. So it actually does go pretty quick selecting things. So I'm impressed with that. It does appear to have a little bit of motion blurring. So it's not super crisp like 120 Hertz TV. I'm guessing this is lower than that. So here's just an example of how fast the TV moves. So if I go home, so here's home. If I want to pull up something here, Netflix. Let's go think about it for a little bit. And some of those higher end TVs, this happens just very, very quick. So Go back to YouTube just so you can see that one again. There we go. Not too bad. So relatively quick. And again, using the controllers overall very fast. What is that? Okay. So I think at this point, let's pull up YouTube. I'll pull up some nice 4K video and we'll see how that looks on this TV. I've already searched for a 4K TV test, so I just want to play some 4K video and just see, how black are the blacks, what's the HDR like, and also how's the sound. Alright, so I'm just going to try another one here, so we'll play this one, also 4K HDR, and also see how that one works. I'm going to move the camera so it's full frame with the TV. I'm going to leave my ring light on, and so we'll see kind of how good the color is with the light on. Alright, so I've just turned off the overhead lights, so we just have the ring light on, and just providing some background illumination. So let's see how this one looks. Alright guys, let's talk about this a little bit. So the biggest things, so the blacks aren't as black as they could be. You can notice that a little bit when you're seeing some of those scenes where you see blacks in there. They seem backlit a little bit. It's to be expected. It's not, it's not a $2,000 TV, so I don't expect the blacks to be super black. The audio is just okay. If you're not getting into high-pitched sound, then you do okay. Obviously, it doesn't have bass, but the lower pitched sound actually sounds pretty good. When you get into the higher pitched sound, you start to get that little bit of that tinny kind of sound that you just don't get when you're using those nice sound bars and things like that. So definitely watchable how it is. If you're going to be watching a movie or trying to set up like a home theater or something like that, you're going to want a sound bar or some other type of sound system. Besides that, it doesn't have a ton of backlighting, so you'll notice if you're in a very bright room, the TV's not going to appear super bright, so you're going to want to be able to dim the lights. You can turn up the brightness. The other thing about this TV that I noticed is that it's not super backlit, so it's not a super bright TV, despite being an LED. So if you're in a room that's really bright, you'll want to be able to dim the lights a little bit. Right now I have my ring light on, I have a fill light, and then I have the overhead light in this room, and this room is not that bright. There's definitely brighter living rooms that I've been in. But you can see plain that it's not super bright. If I was back here on the couch watching this, I'd be struggling a little bit to see some of the darker scenes. I like that the screen has very thin bezels. It almost, the viewing area comes within about an 1/8 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch to the edge of this, which is pretty good. This has 4 HDMI ports. One of them is an ARC port. It has a USB port. It does not have a display port. That's one of the big things that I wish it did have for plugging in computers and stuff like that. But you're going to be needing to use HDMI ports in order to make that work. So the other thing is that this does have Wi-Fi, which is really nice. So I'm just basically hooked into my router. You do have a wired Ethernet port in the back, so you can plug it in that way as well if you want. So you have a couple options to connect to the internet. I like that it's fast when you're using the remote. It pulls up apps, pretty quick. It's not like a blazing fast TV where you click it and it's like right there. It's going to take a little bit of time to think about it. It just doesn't have a very fast processor. But again, for a $240 TV, I'm just not complaining at all. So you may not have noticed, but during scenes where there's a lot of movement, there is a little bit of motion blur, so it's not crisp like a 120 Hertz TV. So that's just another thing to think about if you're going to be using it for gaming or watching a lot of action videos. It's just not going to be quite as crisp as some of those higher end TVs. So As far as construction goes, everything's pretty much plastic, so you do have to be careful with it. It does, feel a little bit unstable. Doesn't help the fact that I have it on a piece of plywood over there. Some of these higher end TVs just have a little bit more solid construction, so I'm just checking settings, and the TV's been the brightest it gets this entire time, so this is pretty much what you've got. Alright guys, so final thoughts. Overall, very, very economical. I mean, I think this is a lot of TV for the price. I don't think you can beat this price. It's probably the cheapest 4K TV that you could get your hands on in the last year, probably. Easy setup, has overall fairly good picture, good sound on the lower end, lots of features, easy connectivity, lots of HDMI ports. So those are kind of the strengths of this TV. For downsides, it is a budget TV, so construction is going to be a little bit less robust than some of the higher end TVs. Audio does suffer a little bit on the higher end of the spectrum. It's going to move a little slower than your other TVs, and it doesn't have the display port that I really like to see. And then there's that little bit of motion blurring. I think overall I'd give this TV a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's obviously not going to reach that higher end like the $2,000 TVs, but for $240, I couldn't be happier with this thing. I intend to use it a lot, and I'll post a video later doing some gaming with it as well, so we can see how it matches up with the RTX 3090. So that's all I have, guys. I will post a link to the closest TV that you can find. This was a Black Friday special. It's a little bit hard to find because I think it was just for Black Friday this year, basically. The closest model is the 65S 435. I'll leave a link to that TV in the description down below. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Please hit that like button if you do. Subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get more video updates in the future. And I will see you guys on the next video.